Hello. Do we know who Stacey Morgan Schoeck is? Well, she is a murderer that was one known victim, Valentine's Day 2010, in Belton Bridge Park, in Georgia. Her victimology includes her husband, Richard Schoeck. Her methodology is shooting, and on December 5th, 2012, she was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Welcome back to the TCL podcast. My name is Breezy, and here we talk murder and other forms of crime. I do have a YouTube channel that you can go check out. I also have a Patreon that you can join. And by joining, you will receive early access to scheduled episodes. Like this one. I also have a merch shop that you can go and buy something from. For any updates, you can find my channel find my channel and podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now that we have all that out of the way, let's dive into today's episode, shall we? Notice anything different? New headsets. I'm trying some out. I have a mic that I use from time to time that I like to use as well, but my other headphones kind of went out, so I kind of had no choice but to get some new ones. So this is all for y'all. I'm also in the middle of finals week, so pray for me. I passed my finals, but so by the time this video comes out, I will be done past my finals. Anyway. Today we continue on with our mini-series called Valentine's Day Murders. And I'm trying to find my lighting. Yeah. So, and we are over halfway through. Can y'all believe that? Doesn't even feel real. And we will be talking about the case of Stacey Morgan Schoeck. She is spending the rest of her life behind bars after hiring instructor Mr. Results to murder her husband by luring him to death with a romantic weekend Valentine's Day tryst. She is serving a life sentence after admitting to hiring a hitman to murder her husband. And Richard was a hot air balloon enthusiast who adopted 3 children. But she's been married 5 times, so let that sink in for a minute. Alright. She would have Reginald Coleman through a work colleague for a friend. And she told her husband she wanted to meet and exchange Valentine's Day cards. The arrangement was set up for over a meal at the Mexican restaurant between 2 women, and the prosecution alleged that Schoeck gave Ross a house that she owned and paid Coleman $10,000. According to reports, Richard Schoeck had life insurance money of $500,000, something his wife would gain following his death. She admitted to having an affair in court and eventually admitted to the plot against her 48-year-old husband. She was in her 30s too. Keep that in mind. 5 marriages. Anyway, she was sentenced to life in prison that December. So phone records would reveal conversations between the 3 suspects before, during, and after the crime. Prosecutors also alleged that the trio went on a dry run to scope out the scene ahead of Valentine's Day, and Ross never admitted his role in the killing but was sentenced to life. Coleman pleaded guilty and will serve life in prison. To have an insult to her late husband's family, Schoeck's one defense in court was to claim her ex-husband had molested one of her sons. Something later squashed with evidence from the children, one of whom how he missed Daddy Richard, who he had adopted them all, according to the Gainesville Times. So, for Richard's family, his murder was pointless, a crime that was masterminded, and she just wanted out of the marriage because she no longer could care for it. What do y'all think? Do you think she just did not want to have to file for divorce again? Do you think she did it for the money or what? But yeah. In that November, she pled guilty and got the same punishment as Ross. So, but here's some of her excuse. Why did Stacy offer only one excuse? Well, there was never any proof that Richard had done anything to warrant his brutal death. And he was an avid outdoorsman, artist, and hot air balloon pilot. He had adopted his wife's children and treated them like his own. He if something was broken and someone needed help, Richard was always there to fix it. So sounds like he was the perfect husband. Well, we all know marriages aren't all perfect, but anyway. Lenitra Ross was sentenced to life without parole in August for acting as a go-between for Schoeck and Coleman. It was an emotional sentencing with both written and person's testimony from co-workers, friends, and family. Victims' impact statements painted a picture of a man who avidly flew hot air balloons and was a beloved friend. So this was a senseless murder, y'all. And she still holds on to the belief that it was because she molested one of her sons. We all know the truth. We all know. Look, there's always three sides to every story. One of those sides we will never know, right? But we know one side, justice. See, in defense asked the dealer to consider Schoeck's a positive interaction with female inmates in cooperation with the DA. Prosecutors agreed to pursue the death penalty for Schoeck's cooperation, not to, in her testimony in Ross at trial. In the end, her sentences matched her accomplices. And when Dale said that he had no doubt Schoeck was molested as a child, he emphasized sordidly premeditated nature of the crime. Coleman was a personal trainer. He had his own business and they called him as the results. It was listed as a contact in Stacy's phone. Investigators took it in February 2010. They had previously come to DeKalb County Spine Clinic where Schoeck and Ross worked to offer lunchtime training sessions. Anyway, the number belonged to Reginald Coleman. But some people would call him Reggie. But let's keep in mind, she was already on her 5th marriage and everything. But what do y'all think of this case? Do you think she just didn't want to have to go through another divorce again? If you're imagining Ross, I'm pretty sure she beats Ross Geller any time on this whole divorce situation. But that is it for today's episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.